Ever get in the cycle where you feel like you've been posting consistently but not getting the results that you want? This is something that a lot of people struggle with, but one thing that I want to challenge everyone in my audience to do is start to create more content talking about the transformation. What people don't understand is people just don't buy products or service. They buy the transformation that you've had personally with that product. So instead of showing screenshots or doing all that mumbo jumbo, focus on what the transformation looks like. And if you're in the beginning of your journey, or maybe you close a few high ticket sales, what has it done to change your life? Yes, the money is great, but what more did you achieve from it? So in this training, I'm going to break down transformational content and some ways that you can pull on the emotional buying triggers to not only get more sales, but also to start resonating with your audience a little bit more. What is the true power behind transformational content? Well, it's very simple. It helps drive engagement, but also builds authentic connections. When you can showcase your trials, your failures, and everything in between, this is going to allow you to not only resonate with your audience, but to turn content into currency by creating a freedom-based business. What people don't realize is a lot of us don't want to make tens of thousands of dollars every single month. We're happy with just a couple grand that pays the bills and we can get time back. And that's exactly what my audience wants. And that's exactly why transformational content does very, very well with my audience. It's transformational content. So transformational content is the shift, right? So you're shifting your audience perspective to really help them understand why they need to take action. What could their life look like if they just implemented what you're selling, course, product, whatever it is online, right? And it goes beyond the selling, but what it does is invites your audience to take a journey with you. So if you can show them in real time of how you're going to make your first $1,000 or how you're going to make your next $10,000, what this does, it takes them on a journey with you so they feel part of it. And also what it does, it builds authority, because if they can see you doing this in real time, the likeliness of them wanting to jump in for proximity and to get your personal help skyrockets. So why is it powerful? Connections, 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 connections. People buy from people they can relate to, right? So be real, be authentic. You don't have to go out there and show crazy screenshots when they're not yours. Talk about the transformation that's possible. Talk about your small wins. Show them. Celebrate them, right? Positioning, right? You stand out from the crowd because you're not over here blowing smoke, right? You're being unique in your journey, and that's going to help you a lot. Credibility, right? By sharing both your failures and successes, you can create a sense of relatability while positioning yourself as the expert who can overcome similar challenges, right? Because you want to show people that you can help them in real time as well. So key elements, right? Being vulnerable, right? And this is just some examples of pieces of content that I've shared, but one was the fear of failure. It paralyzed me for weeks, right? So sharing that is going to help people learn that, hey, this is not as easy as everyone makes it out to be. And also there's a ton of people that actually fail or never get started because of that fear of failure, right? And then talk about how I embrace the learn as you go mindset. Instead of consuming, I went out there and I took action, and it was messy. Teaching point, right? It also shows that like we're humans, right? Mindset plays a huge role in this stuff. Relatability, right? This is another hook that I've used in my content, juggling life, work, kids, school, and it feels like 24 hours is just not enough, right? It highlights the overwhelming it can be like with life and everything else that comes at you, especially in the most unexpected times. Teaching, right, speaks to your audience current struggles. Again, right, they feel like they can understand you because they're currently going through that. Storytelling, right? I used to work 50 to 60 hours a week and brought home about 3K monthly, right? And I did that and more in just 17 days, sharing my personal journey. That's exactly what I did, right? So I'm storytelling by demonstrating the transformation that's possible because I put my head down and I focused on building a business and tuned out all the noise. And what happened was I matched my salary in 17 days. Authenticity, right? This is another one. Feel of failure, the pressure to be perfect, right? It's enough to make anyone freeze, but here's the truth. Authenticity is key to attracting your ideal audience, right? Show them your true self. When you're authentic, your audience will feel that energy and be drawn to you. So how do you create transformational content, right? Identify your story. I challenge you all to go out there and ask yourself, what is the transformation that you've experienced? When did you start and where are you now? Reflecting on the pivotal moments of your life or your business and all the challenges and everything that you've overcome to get to where you're at right now, write those down because those are pieces of content that you can use in your business to get engagement, to get people to follow along with the journey and to motivate them to take action. Outline your journey. Talk about the struggles. Talk about everything that you've done, right? For example, I stumbled upon digital marketing with a stupid side hustle video. I invested $8,000. I felt lost. But with a mentor, I turned my business into a 10K a month machine within 30 days, right? Like that could be something that you talk about. And if you're not at that point, talk about the extra couple bucks you made. Or if you haven't made any money, people are going to relate to that a lot more than fancy screenshots or people making buku bucks online. Make it relatable. So again, an example of this is just touching on how it was like in the beginning of my journey. I was exhausted, juggling work, life, and looking for a way out. I knew I needed more time, more freedom. Teach through your experience. What lessons did you learn that others can benefit from? Right? This is a great example here. I learned how to protect my time by focusing on the stuff that matters, generating leads, creating content that works with me when I'm not behind my computer. When leveraging content, it's super important for you to understand like, hey, content's going to work for me 24/7, 365 days a year if I use it correctly. Call to actions. Now, these are very simple. We talked about this before in previous videos, but are you committed to growing your business and creating your own freedom? If you're ready, I'm taking 3 people on this journey with me. Message me with the word C2C to get started. Right. Now, some examples of transformational content in action, apart from the ones on top, is just really focusing on the story and the result, right? So the story, fear paralyzed me, to the result, learning how to leverage 2 hours a day to build a thriving online business. Number 2, escaping the hustle. Went from working 50 to 60 hours. The result was turning a part-time hustle into full-time income. Leveraging social media for freedom, transitioning on talking about how I got rid of a rental property and how I was going to build a 21K year recurring revenue online. And the results, passive income, freedom, and doing what you love. Number 4, being yourself, right? How I embraced authenticity and use short form content that allowed me to connect with my audience and close an extra $50,000 online. The result, personal brand that attracts the right people to you. And then not only that, right? And I give you guys a little challenge on the top there to write down your story, but define your offer as well. What's transformational about your offer? What could it do for somebody if somebody was just plugged into the system? Number 2, map out your content. Use a combinations of story, relatability, and teaching, right? Create a 30-day content series where you're reflecting on your journey and talking about your audience's pain point and how you're going to overcome it or how you personally overcame those same challenges. Post consistently, right? You can't just go out there, post one piece of content and hope that that's enough to get people to jump into your world. Be consistent with your content and don't only show business stuff, show other stuff. I showed a piece of content bouncing in the house with the kids and it did more views and I got more inbounds just on that piece of content because I was showing them in real time what the freedom of my business had allowed me to do. Engage, respond to comments, message, and obviously build authentic connections, right? So key takeaways, transformational content isn't about just selling. It's about sharing the journey, connection, and building your audience. You also want to empower them to take action, whether that's one little piece of action or a massive amount of action, but getting them to do something. Action steps, right? Encourage participants, to start transformational content. Show them exactly what that looks like or create a challenge where they can do it with you. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. If you found any value in this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and drop me a comment down below.